Hello everybody, this is T-Cat from T-Cat's Deep Vinyl Tracks. It's time for me to do another rescuing records video. These are all records that I found in various Goodwills, Value Villages, and a few other secondhand stores so far this month. So I've got a few CDs to show, and then I'll get on with showing the records that I found. So let's get right to it. First of all, I've got ABC, Absolutely ABC. This is a compilation of ABC's greatest hits. It's one of those bands that I would consider the band I would only need a greatest hits compilation from. Pink Floyd Echoes. This is the 2 CD set. I wasn't really looking for this one, but when you can find it for $1.99, it's really something you don't want to pass up, and it's a really good collection. Kind of a unique way to put different songs together. The Raconteurs. This one is called Broken Boy Soldiers. This is their first album. Released back in 2005. This is one of Jack White's bands. Very good album. I've listened through this and really like it a lot. From the Ken Burns Jazz collection, this is Coleman Hawkins. And there's a list of tracks. Good collection. Descendants, Cool to Be You. This is a punk band somewhat similar to Green Day, kind of a punk pop. Another collection. This is 90s Anthems, 100 Hit Tracks, the Ultimate Collection. And there are 5 CDs in this set. And got quite a collection of songs on it. I know there's no way you're going to be able to read all those, but it's quite a variety. Some artists I would buy albums from, others I wouldn't, but it kind of collects a lot of stuff together from the 90s. Ornette Coleman, Primetime. This is a good collection of jazz from Ornette Coleman. And the 2-disc set of the Beatles, Live at the BBC. A lot of tracks on this. Some of them are just tracks of them introducing themselves and talking, but there are quite a few songs on it, mostly from the rock and roll period. The dates, well, I think it's from 62 to 65 or something like that, if I remember right. Okay, that's the CDs. Now, as far as vinyl that I've found so far this month, this first one is from a band that I've been listening to for a while now. They're not very popular outside of Prague circles, but some of you may have heard of them before. The band is called Kayak. I've actually had this album, or I have it now, Phantom of the Night. This particular album is one of their better albums, and it was the first one I've heard from them. The nice thing about this one is it's still sealed, and it has the 4 for $5 tag on it. Very good album, very accessible, even though it's progressive. It's kind of a pop progressive, but very well done. From Herbie Mann, this is The Family of Man, First Light. Really good jazz album. The Atlantic label. In really good condition. This one is Eric Anderson, Blue River. Now this one, the cover is not that great, and the record itself is not in the best condition, but needs to be cleaned up a bit. However, it's a pretty good album. I've listened through it and I really like it, so I'm going to clean it up and make it savable. I've got the Stax Full to Review, Volume 1, live in London. Wouldn't mind finding the other volumes to this if they're out there. This contains live performances from Otis Redding, Sam and Dave, Carla Thomas, the Marquis, Eddie Floyd, and Booker T and the MGs. Here's the back. And this one's also on the Atlantic label. Compilation of the best of the Lovin' Spoonful. Nice cover. I really like the cover on this. The side is split a little bit, but it's on the Kama Sutra label. There's the band and the songs that are on there. Nice gatefold. And there's the label. The record itself is really clean, even though the jacket is not in the best of shape. It's not too bad though. It's passable. Soundtrack from La Bamba. A lot of the songs on this are performed by Los Lobos, but you also get Brian Setzer, Marshall Crenshaw, Bo Diddley. Pretty good collection of songs from that movie. This album is not particularly one that, even though I'm collecting all the Pink Floyd remasters, this is one that I really didn't care whether I got it or not on a remaster, and when I eventually do get it, at least I've got a great copy of it to get by for now, and it's the final cut. A lot of people consider this a Roger Waters solo album, even though David Gilmour does play on it and actually sings one of the tracks. It sounds a bit more like a Roger Waters album, and probably the one Pink Floyd album out of all of them that I like the least. But this one's in really good shape, and it will do me for now until I decide whether I really want a remaster of it or not. On my search to try to restore my Rush albums, I did find Power Windows. I'm beginning to get a lot of the Rush albums back again that I had. I've had to get rid of a lot of albums here a couple of years ago, and I'm now starting to get back a lot of the ones that I had before. Again, this one, believe it or not, was $2.99 in really good shape. It didn't have the inner sleeve, but the record is in great condition, so could use a little cleaning, but it's nothing that can't be fixed really easily. Another album that I found in the shrink, but it is opened, is In Excess Kick. And look at that, there's the hype sticker. Very nice. Beautiful copy. It's like it never even been played, even though it was, the sill was broken on it. If it was played, it was probably only played once. Great album from In Excess. And again, it's on the Atlantic label. The nice thing about it is the flip side has their logo. One that I was really surprised to find, even though the jacket is not in the best condition, the record sounds great. It's Black Sabbath, Sabbath Bloody Sabbath. The record is in great shape, like I said. Can't beat the fact that it was only $2.99. Has the lyric sheet in there. And of course it's the Warner Brothers Palm Tree label. Again, there's a few fingerprints on it, but something that can be easily cleaned. Give it a bath and it will look good. Plays great. Also found this double LP, the all-time greatest hits of Roy Orbison. This particular series of greatest hits albums are very well recorded, and this one is definitely no exception to that. Sounds really good. There's the track listing. It has everything you could want on there by Roy Orbison. And there's the gatefold. Little Feat, Time Loves a Hero. Another great Little Feat album. It's funny, the place where I picked this one up, this one was actually a $5 record. But the place I picked it up is actually a comic book store that has some records in there too. And when I picked it up, the manager of the store says, "Who's Little Feat? I've never heard of them before." I said, "Well, you've got to listen to them. If you like Southern rock, they're a Cajun rock." He says, "Oh, that sounds interesting." So, hopefully I got another person to love Little Feat, but this is a band that I've really grown to appreciate over the last 10 years. And this is really a good album that I didn't have anymore. Another record I found in great shape from the 80s, The Fix, Reach the Beach. This is their best album. It has two of their great hits on it, Saved by Zero and One Thing Leads to Another. Very nice, funky sounding new wave record. Very good record. If you haven't heard them before, I highly recommend this. If you're going to get something from the 80s, this is one of them you should have. This one should be essential from the 80s, in my opinion. Again, for another one for $5, Jefferson Airplane's Bark. Good condition. This is one I've never had before, but I am familiar with it. Comes on the Grunt label. In really good shape. It still has the insert. It's like a newsletter kind of a thing. But it's got all the lyrics. And then inside, this particular album used to come in with a bag, and this tells you what you can do with the bag. Now, the bag wasn't in this one, but the list of things you can do with it are in there, and I'm sure you can do that with any of the bags that you find. Jefferson Airplane, trying to build up my collection of their records. This one I was excited for. This is an import, and it's Uriah Heep's, two of Uriah Heep's albums. Their first one, very heavy, very humble. And the second one, I think it was like around their fourth or fifth album, Look at Yourself. Two great albums by Uriah Heep with their original lead singer. And really good condition on this one. It has the album covers from each one inside the gatefold, except this one doesn't have the mirror that the album usually came with. So records are in really great condition. There's the label. Oops. So there's two more Uriah Heeps. I love quirky compilations, and this is one. This is called Spinning Pups. Look at those two cute little toy pups they got spinning around on the record, and they're just having a good old time watching them go around because they're magnetic plastic attractions. Look who's on this. Got Stray Cats, Kim Wilde, Kate Bush, Dexy's Midnight Runners, The Vapors, Talk Talk, Peter Tosh. I mean, wow, what a collection. There's the back of it. Fun little compilation on EMI America. This is one of those records you get as a blind buy because, for one thing, you can tell the record isn't that old. This is a fairly recent release from 2013 or 14, I believe. Never really heard this band before, but I do know that this particular album did get to #1 in the UK and didn't do too bad in the US either. It's London Grammar. Now, I've read up a little bit on this band. From the descriptions, it kind of sounds something similar to Portishead, I would guess. She's supposed to have quite a beautiful voice, and I'm excited to hear this one, but I haven't had a chance to listen to it yet. It's not a gatefold, but it does come on 2 discs. There's the label. So, looks interesting. If not, then it is an album that's definitely worth a lot more than $3. I looked it up on Discogs, and the median price is around $35, so pretty good deal on that. And, you know, it might be something I like. If they are anything like Portishead, then I'll definitely like it. Got a 12-inch single by Howard Jones, New Song. This has 2 different versions of New Song, plus it also has Change the Man and Conditioning. 2 songs on each side. And that's upside down, but you get the picture. 3 record set. This one was actually $5.99, but I couldn't pass it up. It's not one you see very often. Frank Sinatra, the Trilogy album, released back in 1980, I believe. 3 records that are supposed to represent the past, the present, and the future. And record 1 is the past, collectibles of the early years. Record 2 is the present, some very good years. And there's some great covers on here. It Had to Be You, All of You, More Than You Know, MacArthur Park, Sung Blue, For the Good Times, Love Me Tender. And then the 3rd album is all new material, Reflections on the Future in 3 tenses. The album jacket has a split up the top, and it looks like it might have been chewed on a little bit. Lots of ring wear, but the records themselves are beautiful. Just pristine looking. Here's the jacket for record 2. It's on reprise. Look how clean they look. Very nice. Another compilation. This is from Syndicate Product. I guess that's the label, Syndicate. 24 power hits. These are all interesting, quite an interesting collection. Crimson and Clover is on this, from Tommy James and the Shondells. Chewy Chewy from the Ohio Express. Goody Goody Gumdrops from the Bubblegum Group, 1910 Fruit Gum Company. A lot of interesting stuff. I've heard of some of these artists, but there's a lot of songs I've never heard of on this. The Amboy Dukes have a song on here. Just talk about the variety. And last of all, I was kind of excited over this compilation. It's from the series The Many Sounds of Jazz Today, and this one is The Who's Who in the Swinging 60s on the Columbia label. And there's the song listing on the back. Now this label, I tried looking this up on Discogs and found the album, but I cannot find this edition of it. I mean, look at this label. Columbia 6i, which, you know, yeah, you do see some 6i's around once in a while. But this, from what I could understand or seen on Discogs, this is the stereo version, and it only shows a mono version in Canada. This is a Canada print. So I don't know if it just never got listed or what, but that was the label on even the mono version is the typical Columbia colors, but this one here, kind of a purple and silver. I mean, really nice. It's almost worth it for the label alone. But of course, the whole thing's worth it because, again, it was only $3. So, okay, that's what I've got so far this month. I thought I'd better show the things that I've been finding over the last couple of weeks as I make trips into secondhand stores. And I hope everybody else is finding a lot of nice stuff too this month. A lot of records out there being rescued from what I've watched on other people's videos, and it's really nice to see these records getting put back into circulation and being made usable again. Alright, well, thank you so much for watching, and we'll be talking to you later. Bye.